Welcome to Running Plays with Coach P. Wade. I am Coach P. Wade. And tonight's episode is going to be on a topic that's pretty heavy, but it's something that has to be talked about because as we're coming off of Suicide Awareness Month and just through a lot of conversations and interactions I've been having lately, I just noticed that a lot of people are feeling heavy. A lot of people aren't feeling their best. And as you see, I got the shirt on. It's okay to not be okay. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about it being okay to not be okay and breaking the stigma. You know, I like talking about this because, hey, this is one of the reasons I got into speaking. This is one of the reasons I got into coaching because I know there's so many hearts out there that need it. People out there that need inspiration, people out there that need something to look forward to or something positive to fill them up when the world's so dark or their life is so heavy, right? Like, think about this. This is a question I want to ask you. Like, have you ever felt like you had to put on a face when everything around you falling apart? Like you had to put on a mask and show up happy when inside you're like really dying and breaking down. But since you got, you a mom, you a dad, you a boss, you got to work, you got all these goddamn expectations, you feel like you're not able to not be okay. And I think, I don't know what your answer is, but I know for me, I've experienced that. I've been in a situation where I had to wear a mask to go to work. I had to put on this happy face, knowing dang well I was just crying in my car right before I came in. But I had to come in because I was a leader at that time. And as a leader, you set the tone, right? So I had to come in and I had to be okay because I it's part of my job. It's my day to day. I set the tone. I got all this on me. So I couldn't afford, I didn't feel like I couldn't afford to break down. I couldn't afford to be like, nah, I'm actually not feeling it, or the times where you just your world falling apart, but you just got to put on. And I just think we're getting to a point where we got to stop that. We got to, the people that when we're feeling that way, we have to feel comfortable and feel safe to be able to say, I'm not okay. We have to feel comfortable to be able to, we have to be comfortable to feel vulnerable. All right. Like I want to share a story that I had that happened to me last year, y'all, just last year. As I was going through a depression, I was on prescription meds. And if you follow me, I'm very open about my story. I'm very open about my journey. And I wasn't really performing the best at work at that time because I could barely get out the bed. Y'all know the feeling. You heavy. You feel like life is over. Everything seems dark. Like literally feel like you can't breathe. You can't even put your finger on why, right? So I had that feeling. So I had a one-on-one with my boss. And I felt, I don't know why I did, but I felt safe because of the relationship we built to talk to her about it, And as I was telling her my mental space and life situations that were happening, and, I was I think at that time I needed a little break, some time off, and I had the availability, but I was communicating it. As I was telling her this story, she told me, Patrice, you're making me feel real uncomfortable right now. Man, at that point, I was already so dang low, y'all. Like, just imagine the feeling I had. Now I'm already low, and now I'm making this person feel uncomfortable. That's not the way it should be. And I'm not upset with her because that's all she knows, you know what I'm saying? Or that's all she knew at that moment. Not everyone's equipped to handle someone that may be going through it, or maybe they haven't heard because we don't talk about it enough. We're getting better at talking about it, but that's why I'm going to keep talking about it because I think people need tools. People need to understand, like, if you're on the receiving end of this as a friend, a colleague, a family member, a boss, whatever, that how to be more empathetic, how to be more compassionate, how to maybe just listen and not really, say how you're feeling in that moment when someone's severely depressed, right? And it's just crazy. I've been on that end, but I've also been high functioning depression. I've done that. I was right after my divorce, I was high functioning depressed. I was running a store. I got a promotion. I was killing it. I was moving up. I was having success while being depressed. And it's a crazy thing, but I think a lot of us do that because we can put more of our energy into it. And although we might crumble at night, We might cry next to our partner. We might cry as soon as we turn our engine on. We might go to lunch and not eat. We might be dwindling away, but we still are performing at work. We're still getting things done. Our household still seems together. No one notices because you're laughing and doing your normal things. That's called high functioning. And I think a lot of people go through that. I think there's a lot of people that are experiencing that right now. But it's okay to be like, you know what, I don't have it all together. I want us to get to be in safe spaces with our families to where we can say that. And it's okay for us to say that. We're our partners, and they can realize, you know what, in this season, I need to pick up in these areas that my partner's not okay in. Or if it's in the workplace, okay, these are some resources that we have for you while you're going through this, you know? So I just think that's going to be key, because suffering in silence has to end. Suffering in silence can no longer be a thing because, and I know it's going to continue, but y'all, almost 1 million people, 726,000 people commit suicide each year. That is heartbreaking. And a lot of those people are teenagers and young adults. Suicide's the third leading cause of death for people ages 15 through 29. Like, it's heartbreaking, but it's because right now there's so much pressure to be successful. There's so much pressure to be a go-getter, to be successful. Social media is showing you all these looks of how it's supposed to be. You got all these societal norms and expectations. You need to do this, you need to do that. It's too much. Some people are overstimulating. It could become too much. And I just want those people, anybody that's hearing this, share it with somebody, to know that it's okay. You can be vulnerable and say, you know what, I don't have it all together right now. Being vulnerable will allow you to be more resilient. It's going to bring you strength. Saying it out your mouth and acknowledging it is going to help you out. It's going to make you a little lighter, right? Is it going to cure? No, it's not going to cure, right? But it can help you out. And that's another thing. As a person on the receiving end of someone going through mental health issues at the time, you don't want to give them all your experience of what they should do. Well, when I was feeling that way, I just prayed about it. Or when I was just feeling that way, I just did. You got to watch the approach. You got to be empathetic. I don't want to say understanding, because you can't. It's one of those things you can't understand. Sometimes the person that's going through it doesn't even understand. So you just got to be empathetic, compassionate, understanding, but not understanding to the point of, I understand what you're going through. You don't have to understand what they're going through, but you can just be there, right? You don't have to say, yeah, I had that same feeling. You may not have the same feeling as this person, all right? So they just want to be heard. They just want to be acknowledged, if they even come to you and they feel safe. But we got to get to the point where we make it a safe space. I am so thankful for the celebrities that are speaking out. And I say celebrities, not making them better or anything, but since they have the platforms and the reach that they have, like Simone Biles, Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child, Demi Lovato, Selena Gomez. There's so many of them speaking out about some of the mental health issues that they've had and that they deal with on the regular. And I think that is super important to hear, because, a lot of times people see celebrities and think they are just, here above us or whatever, but to hear them humanize themselves, I think that is so amazing, right? And I think what I want us to not get to, if we can, because I know a lot of people are feeling it already, is if you just walk around so heavy all the time, it's going to cause anxiety. It's going to cause burnout. You're going to eventually break. I always tell people I'm delicate, right? I'm a delicate being. I don't want to break. Like, if I break completely, I don't know what that, like, how do you come back from that? That could be very difficult. Not saying it's impossible, but it's challenging, right? So we want to see the signs. We want to get to the point where we can go in the office and someone says, hey, Patrice, how you doing today? I'm not that great today, but I appreciate you asking. And maybe that person feels comfortable saying, oh, what's going on? Do you want to talk about it? And that be a norm, right? Like, that be the new societal norm, where people are saying they're not okay, and we're not making them feel bad. We're not making them feel worse. We're you know what I'm saying? We're just kind of being there. Like, I think that should be what we should go towards, what we should be leaning towards at this time, y'all. I'm not going to make this too much longer. I just want anyone, if you're feeling heavy, if you're feeling like you got the weight of the world on your shoulders, if you're feeling like you're running out of oxygen, if you're feeling like you down to your last stretch, I want you to, if you can, surround yourself with people that can support you, whether that's family, whether that's therapists, whether that's coaches. I want you to be able to find those safe spaces, whether it's churches, whether it's I know like through my workplace we have free mental health, like virtual help, whether it's through something like that. Pour into yourself as much positive as you can. Journal, meditate, go on walks. Not saying these things are going to cure anything. I'm just giving you things that may help, right? Me, like you heard me say, I was on prescription medication. I had to do that for me because I was at such a low point. There's a stigma around that too. Oh, you crazy, you this and that, you taking pills. No, that doesn't mean that. I just got help. I needed something to give me more of a balance because I was out of whack, right? And I needed something to help bring me back to where I can go through my day to day. I could have lost my job, and I could have lost my life. I don't know how bad it could have been. So if that's what you need, get the medication, get the help, get the support, but don't suffer in silence. Don't give up. Be vulnerable. If you could have courage to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Even if you see this and you want to reach out to me, let it be me. That's cool, But don't hold it in. If you got to cry, cry. Feel the feels. You got to feel the feels, But it's okay if you're not okay. If you can't be super mom, if you can't be super dad right now, it's okay. Give yourself grace. Have compassion. But just don't give up. And y'all, that's all I got tonight. I just wanted to bring this episode by to talk about this because it is important. You're important, and we have to end the stigma around this. And it is okay to not be okay. Y'all, if y'all like this type of content, please subscribe. Please follow me on my social sites on TikTok at Coach P Wade, on Instagram at Coach P Wade, on Facebook at Patrice Wade. And I'll keep coming with the content. I'll keep dropping episodes. I do this because I love it. I do this because I want to inspire, impact minds and hearts. If I could do one per day is my goal, y'all. So that's all I got. Coach P Wade, I'm out.